Why should I waste my money sending you to school when you can't even read? He would say, it's better for you to learn a trade and stop embarrassing this family. These words weigh heavily on Chinedu, who longed for his father's approval. Yet, no matter how hard he tried, school was a constant struggle. Once upon a time, in this prosperous town of Akachukwu, there lived a wealthy family blessed with 4 children. Among the children, there was Chinedu, the youngest son, who was often the center of attention, not because of his talents, but because of his perceived failures. Chinedu had 3 siblings: his eldest brother Obina, his sister Ineka, and his younger brother Ifeanyi. All of them were brilliant and did exceptionally well in school. However, Chinedu, though kind-hearted and loved by his family, was known as the dullest. He struggled with reading, writing, and keeping up with his studies, much to the dismay of his father, Chief Udo. Chief Udo, a strict and successful businessman, often complained about Chinedu's low intelligence. Why should I waste my money sending you to school when you can't even read? He would say. It's better for you to learn a trade and stop embarrassing this family. These words weighed heavily on Chinedu, who longed for his father's approval. Yet, no matter how hard he tried, school was a constant struggle. He was always the last in class, and his classmates mocked him, calling him Dullard Chinedu whenever he failed his classwork or got beaten by the teachers. The only person who seemed to believe in Chinedu was his mother. Ngozi was his rock, always encouraging him with kind words. Ina, one day you will improve. I know you have a bright future. She would tell him with a warm smile. These words kept him going, even on the darkest days when he would cry alone at the back of the class after yet another round of teasing. School was a battlefield for Chinedu. Every Monday, the teachers would call on a student to read a passage aloud, and one teacher in particular, Mrs. Ogechi, seemed to enjoy embarrassing him. One Monday, she called Chinedu to the front of the class to read, fully expecting him to fail. And he did. He couldn't read a single word. The humiliation was unbearable as his classmates erupted in laughter and the teacher flogged him in front of everyone. Chinedu dreaded exam periods, knowing he would always be the last in his class. His report cards were a source of shame, and his father, Chief Udo, would often express disbelief that such a dull child could come from his loins. But Ngozi, his mother, never gave up on him. She pleaded with the principal when he suggested repeating Chinedu for yet another year, and the principal reluctantly promoted him on trial. One evening, as the family sat in their living room, Chief Udo began complaining again. We should stop wasting money on Chinedu's education. Let him learn a trade. He can't cope, he said angrily. But Ngozi wouldn't have it. Give him a chance, Udo. He will improve, she insisted. Reluctantly, Chief Udo agreed to one last attempt to help Chinedu. That summer, Ngozi hired a private tutor named Miss Amara. Miss Amara was a kind and patient teacher who quickly grew fond of Chinedu. She heard about all the struggles he had faced and was determined to help him. Unlike the teachers at school, she believed in Chinedu's potential. Slowly but surely, she began teaching him how to read and write. And for the first time in his life, Chinedu felt hope. The road wasn't easy. At first, he struggled. But with Miss Amara's encouragement and his mother's unwavering support, something began to change. Chinedu started to grasp the lessons. It was as though a light had been switched on in his mind. By the end of the holiday, he could read fluently and he no longer dreaded going back to school. When the new school year began, Chinedu returned with a quiet confidence. The teacher who had once humiliated him, Mrs. Ogechi, was still his teacher. And on the first Monday of the term, she decided to embarrass him once more. She called him to the front of the class to read, expecting him to stumble over the words. But to everyone's shock, Chinedu read perfectly. The class fell silent and Mrs. Ogechi stood speechless. From that day on, Chinedu's life changed. He excelled in his studies, performing well in classworks and tests. His teachers, who had once written him off as hopeless, were amazed by the transformation. His father, Chief Udo, noticed the changes too. No longer did Chinedu sit idle watching TV with his siblings. He now spent his time studying. The next time Chinedu brought home his report card, he showed something that no one ever expected. He had placed third in his class. His mother was overjoyed, and even Chief Udo, though stunned, couldn't hide his pride. Chinedu's success continued. He worked harder than ever, and by the end of the school year, he had claimed the first position in his class. His academic achievement didn't stop there. Chinedu went on to excel in secondary school and eventually graduated from university with top honors. His determination and perseverance led him to become a renowned doctor, working at one of the most prestigious hospitals in the country. The boy who had once been called a dullard was now saving lives and making a difference in the world. And through it all, Chinedu never forgot the two women who had believed in him when no one else did. His mother, Ngozi, and his tutor, Miss Amara. Their faith in him had unlocked his potential and transformed his life forever. This story became a lesson to all, showing that no matter how hard the road may seem, with love, encouragement, and perseverance, even the dullest star can shine the brightest. So guys, this is how I'm going to be ending this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.